okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, my name's Jackie. So first of all, I'd like to point out one of the claims that Daniel brought up about the reason why drinking looks so good to people is because it's illegal, and they'll get the thrill or the rush of going against the law when they do consume drinking at a younger age. Killing people is also against the law, and personally, I don't get a thrill out of going and killing people from breaking the law or anything. But that was just personal opinion on that one. In response to Yukiko's claim for schools implementing programs, I believe that you do not have to be 21 to be advised about the safeties of drinking. It would be best to implement programs such as DARE, it's the Drug Resistance and Awareness programs across the country. I know they're already in place, but it'd be good to bring them up again during the high school ages when adolescents are most influenced by outside sources. And even college programs are a good idea of spreading awareness. I know in the village, it's an off-campus living situation. They have a program coming up called Be Wiser. It's kind of like Budweiser, but it's called Be Wiser. And they invite people under the age of 21, and they want people to know that they can drink more responsibly, not to binge drink because it's bad for your health. And they also invite kids who are over 21 to go ahead and try different beers and to show how they can drink without having to abuse alcohol. So some of the claims that I would like to bring up are the health issues when you consume alcohol at a young age. Some of the things I'll be talking about is how it can lead to dependency, brain damage, which can affect your schoolwork, sexual assault and transmitted diseases, and then lastly, depression and suicide. So, drinking at a young age is a higher risk of becoming dependent on alcohol. Mothers Against Drunk Drivers stated that individuals who began drinking in their early teens are not only at greater risk for developing alcoholism sometime in their lives, but they are also at greater risk for developing alcoholism more quickly and at younger ages, especially chronic relapsing alcoholism. They also stated that those who had their first drink prior to the age of 19 are significantly more likely to become alcoholic dependent, to drive after drinking, and to sustain injuries that require medical attention than those who did not drink before the age of 19. Those who first drank at a younger age believed they could consume more drinks and still be okay to drive safely. My second point was the effects on the brain, and adolescence is prime time for your brain to become, develop and mature, and when you consume alcohol, the chemicals in alcohol usually sustain those growing nerves and different things in your brain. A person's brain does not stop developing until his or her early mid-20s. During this development, alcohol negatively affects all parts of the brain, including coordination, motion control, thinking, decision-making, hand-eye movement, speech, and memory. The National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism also stated that adolescence is the transition between childhood and adulthood. During this time, significant changes occur in the body, including rapid hormonal alterations and the formation of the new networks in the brain. Exposing the brain to alcohol during this period may interrupt key processes of brain development, possibly leading to mild cognitive impairment as well as further escalation of drinking. And then a couple of studies were taken with teens and drinking, and one study found that short-term memory skills in alcohol-dependent and non-dependent adolescents ages 15 to 16. The alcohol-dependent youth had greater difficulty remembering words and simple geometric designs after a 10-minute interval. So those are, when you start binge drinking in large amounts, it starts to take an effect on your memory, and that's going to affect how you perform in school. One of the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism also found that the hippocampus, a part of the brain important for learning and memory, was smaller in alcohol drinking at an earlier age and had proportionally smaller hippocampal volumes compared with those who began later, suggesting that the difference in sizes were alcohol-induced. And then one of the main problems with alcohol consumption is it occurs at parties, and in that case, many of the teens are not in a full mental capability of making decisions. So sexual assault is one of the #1 factors that can occur to teens, and that includes rape. It occurs most commonly among women in late adolescence and early adulthood, usually within a context of a date. One survey, approximately 10% of female high school students reported having been raped. Research suggests that alcohol used by the offender, the victim, or both increased the likelihood of sexual assault by male acquaintance. And then, of course, with sexual assault, that also leads to STDs and unwanted pregnancies, and that can lead to AIDS and death. And then you can also, that's going to lead to depression and suicide. Alcohol is a depressant. It's going to make people want to come down, and it's people who began drinking before age 15 are 4 times more likely to develop alcohol dependence at some time in their lives compared to those who have their first drink at the age of 20 or older. So teens are more inclined to become depressed, and then they can go into suicide, and that's a negative effect on why drinking age should not be lowered. Thank you.